Section 7. ZAIN. Life and Works of Jesus in Tibet and Western India. Section 7. ZAIN. Life and Works of Jesus in Tibet and Western India. Chapter 36. Jesus in Lassa. He meets Meng-ste, who aids him in reading the ancient manuscripts. He goes to Ladak. Heals a child. Relates the parable of the king's son. In Lassa of Tibet there was a master's temple, rich in manuscripts of ancient lore. The Indian sage had read these manuscripts, and he revealed to Jesus many of the secret lessons they contained, but Jesus wished to read them for himself. 2. 3. Now, Meng-ste, greatest sage of all the farther east, was in this temple of Tibet. 3. For the path across Amidas heights was difficult, but Jesus started on his way, and Vidyapati sent with him a trusted guide. 4. 5. And Vidyapati sent a message to Meng-ste, in which he told about the Hebrew sage, and spoke for him a welcome by the temple priests. 5. 6. Now, after many days, and perils great, the guide and Jesus reached the Lassa temple in Tibet. 6. 7. And Meng-ste opened wide the temple doors, and all the priests and masters gave a welcome to the Hebrew sage. 7. 8. And Jesus had access to all the sacred manuscripts, and, with the help of Meng-ste, read them all. 8. 9. And Meng-ste often talked with Jesus of the coming age, and of the sacred service best adapted to the people of the age. 9. 10. In Lassa Jesus did not teach. When he had finished all his studies in the temple schools he journeyed toward the west. In many villages he tarried for a time and taught. 10. 11. At last he reached the pass, and in the Ladak city, Leh, he was received with favor by the monks, the merchants, and the men of low estate. 11. 12. And in the monastery he abode, and taught, and then he sought the common people in the marts of trade, and there he taught. 12. 13. Not far away a woman lived, whose infant son was sick nigh unto death. The doctors had declared, there is no hope, the child must die. 13. 14. The woman heard that Jesus was a teacher sent from God, and she believed that he had power to heal her son. 14. 15. And so she clasped the dying infant in her arms and ran with haste and asked to see the man of God. 15. 16. When Jesus saw her faith he lifted up his eyes to heaven and said, 16. 17. My Father God, let power divine overshadow me, and let the holy breath fill full this child that it may live. 17. 18. And in the presence of the multitude he laid his hand upon the child and said, 18. 19. Good woman, you are blessed, your faith has saved your son. And then the child was well. 19. 20. The people were astonished and they said, this surely is the Holy One made flesh, for man alone cannot rebuke a fever thus, and save a child from death. 20. 21. Then many of the people brought their sick, and Jesus spoke the word, and they were healed. 21. 22. Among the Ladaks Jesus tarried many days. He taught them how to heal, how sins are blotted out, and how to make on earth a heaven of joy. 22. 23. The people loved him for his words and works, and when he must depart they grieved as children grieve when mother goes away. 23. 24. And on the morning when he started on his way the multitudes were there to press his hand. 24. 25. To them he spoke a parable. He said, a certain king so loved the people of his land that he sent forth his only son with precious gifts for all. 25. 26. The son went everywhere and scattered forth the gifts with lavish hand. 26. 27. But there were priests who ministered at shrines of foreign gods, who were not pleased because the king did not through them bestow the gifts. 27. 28. And so they sought to cause the people all to hate the son. They said, these gifts are not of any worth, they are but counterfeits. 28. 29. And so the people threw the precious gems, and gold and silver in the streets. They caught the son and beat him, spit upon him, drove him from their midst. 29. 30. The son resented not their insults and their cruelties, but thus he prayed, my Father God, forgive these creatures of thy hand, they are but slaves, they know not what they do. 30. 31 And while they yet were beating him, he gave them food, and blessed them with a boundless love. 31. 32 In certain cities was the son received with joy, and he would gladly have remained to bless the homes. But he could tarry not, for he must carry gifts to every one in all the king's domain. 32. 33 And Jesus said, My Father God is King of all mankind, and he has sent me forth with all the bounties of his matchless love and boundless wealth. 33. 34 To all the people of all lands, lo, I must bear these gifts, this water and this bread of life. 34. 35 I go my way, but we will meet again, for in my fatherland is room for all. I will prepare a place for you. 35. 36 And Jesus raised his hand in silent benediction. Then he went his way.